Iraqi, and it is my pleasure to welcome you back to the second episode of the Al-Qisa, where we bring you stories, news, highlights from the global Jamaat and the AKDN. Let's begin by hearing from Jasmine Jiwa, who is reporting from the field in Uganda. Over to you, Jasmine.
At Navroz, we were blessed to receive Talika from Maulana Hazar Imam, in which he recommended that all Murids should accept to be vaccinated in accordance with the directives of their respective health authorities as soon as the vaccines are offered. In certain parts of the world, the vaccine has become more available to the public, and our institutions have been working hard to ensure that Jamaati members get their shots as soon as possible. Maulana Hazar Imam also made it clear that we should be accepting whichever vaccine is made available to us by our local authorities. It is important to remember that even when we get vaccinated, the basic precautions we've been following for the last year are still important. Wash your hands regularly, wear a mask, and maintain physical distancing. Don't forget the vaccine doesn't stop you getting COVID-19, it just reduces the severity of the effects this will have on your body. And if you catch COVID, being vaccinated doesn't stop you transmitting the virus to others who may not have been vaccinated yet. So let's not let our guard down just yet. We have all seen the news stories about devastating effects of the pandemic in India at the moment. The Prince Ali Khan Hospital in Mumbai, part of the Aga Khan Health Services, has been at the forefront of the response, with its former CEO, Sanjay Oak, serving as the head of the Maharashtra government COVID-19 task force for much of the past year. Since the onset of the pandemic, the hospital has allocated nearly half of its total bed capacity and close to 80% of its critical care beds to treating COVID-19 patients. In early 2020, a 50-bed unit was also established at the nearby Diamond Jubilee High School, which served as a quarantine centre for asymptomatic patients and staff. To date, over 1,800 COVID-19 patients have been admitted to the hospital, nearly 60% of whom were in critical stages. We continue to keep all those affected by this pandemic in our prayers and offer our thanks and appreciation to all those helping to save lives. The Ismaili webpage and app has country-specific instructions on accessing the vaccine. Presented and sponsored by the Aga Khan Foundation, an open-air exhibition of Silk Road photos captured by photographer Christopher Wilton Steer is now opened in London. The Silk Road, established during the Roman Empire, is a collective name for a network of ancient trade routes linking Asia and Europe.
In 2019, I embarked on the adventure of a lifetime. I travelled overland from London to Beijing across 16 countries by car, bus, train, ferry and camel. My objective was to photograph some of the people, places and cultures that lie along the world's most celebrated trade route, understand more about what connects us, and learn more about the Aga Khan Development Network's efforts to improve the quality of life in these regions.
Comprised of more than 160 photos, the exhibition showcases and celebrates the different countries, peoples, cultures and beliefs that make up the Silk Road today. Hazar Imam continuously strives to improve quality of life, promote pluralism and enhance self-reliance in the most poor and marginalized communities of the world. Photographs displayed at the exhibit highlight AKDN's contributions to improving the quality of life across social, economic and cultural spheres in regions that make up the Silk Road. As an example, one photograph beautifully captures the Vanj Bridge between Afghanistan and Tajikistan. Funded by the Aga Khan Foundation, the Vanj Bridge is used for cross-border humanitarian assistance delivery and serves as a primary connection of trade. For centuries, the Silk Road facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, religions, and technologies across thousands of miles, and its legacy still endures today. The exhibition runs until June the 16th in King's Cross, London, and you can learn more about the exhibition on the AKF UK website.
Now over to Ali Khan in Kenya, who will share with all of us unique stories from the world of the AKDN.
In the last 6 months, 2 hospitals managed by the Al-Qisa University have been successful in separating pairs of conjoined twins. One pair in Pakistan and the other in Afghanistan. This is a rare victory for cases like these, which happen 1 out of 250,000 births and have a global fatality rate of 75%. The procedures required upwards of 50 health professionals to administer the surgery and took at least 5 hours to perform. In Karachi, Ayan and Aman were born in December as an omphalopagus type of conjoined twins, a condition in which bodies of the 2 children are joined at the abdomen and several internal organs are shared. The twin boys shared a liver, and it took a team of 50 clinical and administrative staff 8 hours to successfully separate the boys. The parents were extremely thankful to the entire AKU team for both the successful surgery and for the financial support from the hospital's patient welfare program.
जिस तरह से हम आए हैं, हमारे पास इतना नहीं है वसाइल, इतना कि हम यहाँ इलाज कर सके, और बाहर और जगह भी मुमकिन नहीं था इतना बड़ा ऑपरेशन में, हमारे पास इतने पैसे नहीं थे कि हम यहाँ आ सके। तो ये वेलफेयर वर्क के जो ज़कात फ़ंड दे लोग देते हैं, तो हमें कोई एहसास नहीं हुआ, ना कोई हमें कोई फ़र्क नज़र आया कि हम बग़ैर पैसों के यहाँ हमारा इलाज हो रहा है। जब उधर देखा उस हाल में, तो मुझे ख्वाब याद आई, इनसे मैंने कहा कि इनकी ये इदारा है आगा खान, उनकी वजह से वो मेरे ख्वाब जो उसकी ताबीर हुई, वरना ये ना होता तो मुश्किल है ये ख्वाब मेरा पूरा होता, सारी ज़िंदगी ख्वाब ही देखते।
The father, when he took one of the twins in his hands, he held the baby and he was unable to, hold the baby. And then I just put the child on his chest and I said, hold him like a baby. And when he held the child, he had tears in his eyes, and for a second, I just stood there and looked at him, and he's like, this is the first time I'm holding my child heart to heart. I can feel him.
In Kabul last month, Dr. Muhammad Tariq Rahimi led a team of doctors, nurses and specialists at the French Medical Institute for Mothers and Children, FMIC, of which AKU is the managing partner, to separate conjoined twins. The procedure took 6.5 hours, but the babies are now able to drink milk normally. In Afghanistan, the babies were joined by the abdomen and they shared a liver. This is the second successful case of separating conjoined twins done at the AKUH and at FMIC. It is hard to believe that it has already been 5 years since the International Jubilee Games in Dubai. The popularity of the Games paved the way for novel events under the Jubilee Games umbrella, such as the Ismaili Esports and Fitness Initiative, which is a global encounters program. Last year, the Esports Initiative hosted an international e-football tournament which attracted players from across the globe, including North America, the Middle East, and South Asia.
It's a game that rewards proactive thinking, decisive action, and timing is everything. Are you ready to step onto the battlefield? Virtual battlefield, that is. Welcome to the launch of the 2021 International eChess Tournament.
This year, the initiative has launched an eChess tournament across all jurisdictions, which will culminate in the eChess Cup, an international competition that will feature team and individual competition. Each jurisdiction will hold their own e-tournament to decide adult and youth champions that will compete in the international block tournament.
I'm Valina. It's been 7 years that I am playing chess. I won many national tournaments. I always dreamed about being a chess player because I knew that it has a lot of benefits. Why we should learn chess? Chess develops our logical thinking, confidence, and it boosts our concentration span.
A unique component of this initiative is actually a mentorship and training component where beginners and intermediate e-chess players can be coached by avid chess players. All interested e-athletes should sign up through their registration site, which can be found at the.ismaili/esports. Last month, the Aga Khan Award for Architecture announced the members of its steering committee. For the current cycle, this committee, which is chaired by Maulana Hazari Imam and includes globally recognized architects, academics, and cultural authorities. Now, they're responsible for developing the eligibility criteria for the award submissions and for selecting an independent master jury, which in turn selects the award recipients from the nominated projects. Award cycles are every 3 years, and each cycle has a new steering committee. The Aga Khan Award for Architecture has a prize fund of $1 million. Previous venues for award ceremonies encompass many of the most illustrious architectural achievements, including Shalimar Gardens in Lahore, 1980, Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, 1983, the Alhambra in Grenada, 1998, Emperor Humayun's tomb in Delhi in 2004, the Musa Jalil Tata Theatre, and the Kazan Kremlin in the Russian Federation in 2019. On April 22nd, the world celebrated Earth Day, a day where we recognize the bounty that the world gives us and reminds us that we need to take care of it. The Aga Khan Academies has taken the message of sustainability to heart and instilled an environmental ethic in its students. In 2018, a Green Committee comprised of students from Hyderabad delivered a presentation to faculty on the overuse of stationery in schools and the implications on the environment. They even made the teachers take pledges regarding environmentally responsible changes they would make in their lives or in their classrooms. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted all people from all facets of life. In particular, institutions of higher learning have had to make unprecedented pivots in the presence of the pandemic to accommodate to all the health and safety guidelines of their jurisdictions in order to protect their students and faculty from the virus. University ecosystems have shifted their operating models, finding ways to utilize technology to collaborate and foster connections, as well as marshal research capabilities to directly focus on the relevant and timely social, health, and economic issues of our world today. Hazari Imam has emphasized the importance of quality education and enhancing access to education across all frontiers. The Ismaili Center Conversations Canada brought together academies from a handful of leading institutions to discuss the critical questions of equity, access, and quality education in a post-pandemic world. A key takeaway from the discussion is that universities must be willing to adapt their operating models in order to ensure the sustainability, suitability, viability of higher education post-pandemic.
All of us are realizing how important universities are in terms of being part of an ecosystem, that we need to find ways to collaborate more and more with the communities in which we're embedded, but also think about our situation globally. I think the pandemic, more than anything, has really reminded us of how interconnected we all are.
Viewers are encouraged to watch the full discussion, which can be found on Ismaili TV Originals. Ismaili Civic is an international endeavor that engages our global Jamaat with the mission to serve humanity and improve the quality of life of the communities in which we live. In the US, food drives, vaccine drives, basic supplies during the Texas ice storm. In the UK, the Ismaili Centre in London served as a rapid COVID-19 testing site.
It's great to be, first of all, it's great to be here today, and I'd like to thank the Ismaili Centre for helping to set up this test centre, which is really important in this part of the borough.
In Canada, implemented initiatives to address the detrimental effects the pandemic has had on access to food, blood, and mental health, support through the launch of a Ramadan food drive, bank drive, and a Canadian blood services drive, and Kids Help Phone partnership.
Thank you, Ali Khan, for those insightful stories. Now on to a very interesting story which has emerged out of Mombasa, Kenya.
Yali Midat, my name is Shamia Jaffer, and today I'm reporting from the Aga Khan Academy, Mombasa in Kenya. Today we're going to speak to a young innovator who has taken his own initiative in solving a problem that many in Africa have: access to clean water and electricity. In a region that is dominated by power outages, we see that the lack of electricity has had a major impact in productivity. As we shift more to a digital economy, many people who don't have access to electricity can't even charge their phones. And further to that, the ability to live in darkness has caused other social issues. Another major impediment is the access to clean water. In Kenya, with a population of approximately 50 million people, nearly 48% of the population does not have access to basic sanitation. Access to clean piped water is even more difficult. The socio-economic issues impacting Kenya are dramatic. They are not only seen here, but are evident across the continent. Solutions to addressing this problem are challenging, yet one student at the Aga Khan Academy, Mombasa, has managed to be inspired by his education to create a unique and innovative solution to help people get access to clean water and electricity. Let's meet Luciano. Hi, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. So tell us all a bit about yourself, Luciano.
So I'm Luciano Toriani, and I'm 16 years old. And I really love my academics at the academy. I love taking subjects such as math, physics, and chemistry, which really contribute to my project. And I've lived most of my life off the coast of Kenya, especially in Funzi Island, where I really just see the prevalence of the lack of accessibility to drinking water, as well as electrical power.
So you're in year 10 of the middle years program here at the Academy. What has been the greatest impact of your studies here? What inspired you to come up with such an innovative and creative solution to the lack of electricity and clean water?
First and foremost, I would like to attribute it to the Aga Khan strands, and especially economics for development, because you really investigate the link between the environment and quality of life. And that's what my project is oriented around. And this also leads to my critical thinking and creative thinking, because in different subjects you explore real-life contexts and familiar and unfamiliar situations. And besides that, I would also like to talk about the public speaking, which has been enhanced in the Academy. Through extracurricular activities such as Model United Nations, I get to go and speak in front of many people, which obviously augments my confidence to come here today.
Amazing. So tell us a bit about what you did, and explain what the rural electrical and purification system is. How does it work?
So there's an electricity supply system and a water purification system. And in the electricity supply system, it's a bleach battery, which consists of a sodium hypochlorite electrolyte and two electrodes, one being the copper cathode and the other the aluminium foil anode. And this is a spontaneous redox reaction where oxidation and reduction occur and electrons flow from the aluminium foil over to the copper cathode, which generates electric current. And regarding the water purification system, it's basically a 5-liter container which contains charcoal, sand, grass, and then rocks from bottom to top. And the charcoal uses its carbon-based properties to remove chemical impurities from the brackish water. And the other three, the sand, rocks, and grass, eliminate the physical impurities. All of this has to go through boiling, nevertheless, to remove the other impurities.
Well, thank you so much, Luciano. This was very inspiring.
Very welcome.
In other exciting news, the Global Center for Pluralism will be holding its 8th annual Pluralism Lecture on Wednesday, May 19th. This year's lecture will be delivered by Ethiopian novelist and 2020 Booker Prize finalist Ms. Maza Mengiste. Princess Zara Aga Khan, who is a member of the board of the Global Center, will be delivering introductory remarks ahead of Ms. Mengiste's keynote lecture on The Moment of Encounter, History, Disruptions and Transformations.
Je pensais à une société qui est diversifiée, pluraliste. C'est une société où, par exemple, votre voisin de palier est différent, enfin, il s'habille différemment, les parfums de cuisine qui émanent de son appartement sont différents des vôtres. Sur le palier en dessous, il y a encore une famille différente. De nouveau, la cuisine est différente, les vêtements sont différents, la langue est différente. Mais au fond, ce sont vos amis parce que vous comprenez, vous avez été chez eux pour des fêtes nationales, vous avez été chez eux pour des fêtes religieuses, vous avez mangé avec eux et vous comprenez tout à fait non seulement pourquoi tout ceci est tellement différent et étranger et peut-être un peu exotique pour vous, mais ça devient familier parce que vous avez appris à les connaître.
The live webcast can be viewed on the Global Center for Pluralism website or on the Ismaili TV. While the world continues to seek opportunities for vaccination, an interesting story has emerged about a young Ismaili techpreneur who has created an application for users in Canada to be able to geolocate the closest vaccination centers near them. This application simply requires an individual to send a text message to a particular phone number, and then in return, they will receive a list of vaccination centers near them. Let's go over and speak to Zain Munji, who can tell us more about this application and what inspired him to make it.
So the app is super simple. It's not actually even an app, it's just a phone number. What you do is you text the phone number with your postal code, and it could be any postal code within Canada, any province, any territory. And once you text the phone number with your postal code, you'll get an instant response with the 3 closest vaccination sites near you. And in that response, you'll be able to see things like the name of the location, the phone number, the address of the location, and a website to book your vaccine appointment. And it's as simple as that. Just text your postal code to the phone number.
Thank you, Zain. We hope such technologies can be replicated in other parts of the world so that more people can access vaccination centers near them.
Thank you, Shamia. It is truly amazing to see the work being done by our youth. Also worthy of celebrating is the marking of 1 year since the launch of Ismaili TV. Over the course of the past year, hundreds of volunteers spread across the world have dedicated thousands of hours to keep our global Jamaat connected through Ismaili TV. In following Hazri Imam's guidance to build capacity for our Jamaat and future generations, to foster connection and global brotherhood and sisterhood, and to continue to work together to share knowledge and competencies, Ismaili TV is doing just that. Launching 1 year ago, Ismaili TV has streamed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bringing joy, entertainment, knowledge, and opportunities to our Jamaat worldwide. Ismaili TV features a handful of original series, from Trailblazers, an interview series showcasing Ismaili professionals who have made tremendous strides in their field, to Science and Technology, a series that focuses on better understanding the world we live in and who we are. Ismaili TV has also hosted many memorable events and concerts, from Navroz celebrations to the wonderful Salim Suleiman and Shukrana concerts. Our heartfelt gratitude goes out to the volunteers who have dedicated their time, knowledge, and resources in keeping the global Jamaat connected via Ismaili TV throughout the pandemic. Thank you all for joining us for our episode today. Please stay tuned for upcoming episodes of Al-Qisa.